Morning folks, back here at Retro to RTX. This is what we've got here today, the 486-25. As you can see, very yellow, a few scratches on the case, that sort of thing. And just needs a general tidy up. So what we're going to do, we're going to strip it down and give it some love. So as you can see, here's the motherboard, power supply, hard drive, etc. And we're going to fill her up with RAM at the moment. I'm not sure how much RAM's in it. However, it is missing 2 RAM sticks. So I'll be guessing it's maybe 6 megabytes. But we'll find that out later on. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start by disassembling the PC. Strip it down into all its parts. Okay, so this is the system deassembled. As you can see, especially down here, there's a bit of corrosion. That's called verdigris, for anyone that wants to know. We'll clean up with a bit of vinegar, and then we can put alcohol over it, isopropyl alcohol. Probably not saying that correctly, but anyway. And that's obviously the case. So the case itself, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. However, it's just dirty. So can do that, and obviously clean the front up too, so it looks all nice and new. And around the back, it's in pretty good condition, really. So. As you can see, there's some circuitry on the back of here, so I need to take that off too before we clean it, just so it doesn't get damaged. Does come up quite well. Obviously, don't put any of your normal washing in it when you're doing it. It's just put the computer parts in there. I don't put the smaller pieces in there because they can get lost in the machine. I just do those by hand, but the bigger pieces definitely. So, yeah. So with this here, what I'm going to do first is we're going to pop this out. Which, if you remember back in the day, these have got a little hole in the front, which pushes the drive out. So we need to put something in there, something small. It can be like a paper clip or something like that. As you can see that just there. Now, paper clip would have been ideal. I couldn't find one, so I've got an old peg that I've destroyed. And let's pop that in the hole and push. And in theory, it should pop out. Yeah, like that. Okay, like that. So, yeah. Each one's a little bit different, so you just got to sort of work out what's holding it in there and go from there. Like this, this is heavy. That. Okay. So now that's off. So now that's off, we can get the rest of it off. Now the whole lot is off. So as you can see, that was the original color on the back. It's nice and yellow on the front. So it goes with that one there. So we're going to put those through the process, the retro bright process, and that'll whiten that up too. Looks a little bit dusty in there. You hit that with this too. Don't like pulling things apart. This is my container that I use. So the product that I use is Cream Developer, 12% hydrogen peroxide. So we did pour a bit in there. I'll just put it down in the corner because we're using the vapor. So just put a bit in there. Make sure you don't get it on your hands because it can burn. I'll put a bit of extra water in there because we want the vapor. So just a bit of water like that. take that out for a second. Give a bit of a switch around. So, some people add laundry booster. It's good for oxygen and stuff. I don't bother. I've never seen any difference with it. So that's what I do with that. Now this is the stuff that we washed. It comes up nice and clean, as you can see. So this in there first, like so. Just the bigger things, and you want everything aiming up, as in that grass off there. It's no good. And everything that's the yellow side, face that up, because you want the UV hitting it. So there. There's little things, I'll put them up in the corner. Okay, so that's all sorted in there. And so then I'll get the lid. Put that back over the top. Put it down. And then let it sit. So I'll let it sit there all day. Make sure it's a nice day. Overcast days don't work too well. It's meant to be a nice sunny day today, so we'll let that sit in there for a while. There we have it. So the front's now back on, as you can see. It isn't perfectly white, but it's come up very white compared to what it was. It's still got like a beige tinge to it. Okay, so we're going to start installing the drives first off. So I'm going to put the CD drive at the bottom. It's just personal preference, but you can do whatever you like. So start by sliding that in. Okay. Normally I'd say check the jumpers to make sure it's master and slave or cable select. However, this particular drive doesn't have that option, so it's cable select. Okay, so we're going to start connecting the floppy drives. So I'll show you the cable just so you can how you define your A and B drive. Okay, so you see here, so it's got a twist at the end, as you can see there. That's where the A drive sits. So which one ever you plug it into, so this one here goes in the 5 1/4, and the smaller one with the pins in it, that goes in the 3 1/2 inch. This section here, that's your B drive. So that's how you define which drive is A and B. So by default, it'll boot from A drive. So me personally, I like to have the 3 1/2 inch, booting up from the A drive. So that's what I'm going to select, and the B drive is going to be the 5 1/4. It's just a matter of getting it to work in the case. So you'll see here too, before I put that in, it's got a little keyway. You can see that in there. That defines which way the drive is plugged in. So on the back here, you can see from the factory they've got them labelled. I want to keep those labels lined up as much as I can. So that's what we're going to do. That's how I'm going to be placing my video cards and serial ports, etc. Make sure you put these around the right way. So the red stripe, that indicates pin 1 and 2. So and that's what you'll see on the IDE card, which I've got here. And I'll actually have on there where you put it in, 1 and 2. So if I can see it, I can't actually see that one. There we go. 1 and 2. So they're around like so. And also to connect up the LED. With your LED, if it doesn't work once you've got it all set up, it just means that you have plugged in around the wrong way, because it is a diode, so the diode ain't its current going one direction. So that'd be why. This one here is just a video card. Fastest video card you can get for ISA, to the best of my knowledge. Not this particular one, but this is the chipset, the ET4000 by 7 Labs. So and last but not least, we've got a ESS audio drive. This particular one is the 1868F. They do have a few variations, but they're all roughly the same. So this one here doesn't have IDE on board. Can use it if you want to, and it's an argument there, I guess, if you want to use that or not, because as some of you may know, if you have a master and slave on the same just going to swap that around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on the sound card.
Yes, as you wish. Yes. Your wish. Move out.
So here we are at the end of the build, and I thought I'd just go over a few things like we've changed since the start of the build. So the machine now does have a different motherboard in it. This one's got VLB in it, or Visa Local Bus. The old motherboard, as you saw in the video, it does have a fair bit of verdigris on it. It's actually attacking the tracks underneath of it, so I decided just to call it a day and just get rid of that motherboard and use this one instead. Same processor though, and I've put 16 megabytes of RAM in this, as you may have seen on the start of the video. Also too, just a couple other things. The CD-ROM. So the other one we might see in the video, it had a creative CD-ROM drive in it. It's actually a learning curve for me on that one, because originally I thought it was IDE, which is an IDE. It does fit an IDE cable in it. However, it's actually a proprietary cable, and that means I need a proprietary sound card or something like that. It most likely a sound card that I can plug it into, therefore booting it. Because I found that plugging it in and trying to do it like a standard IDE, the weird thing I thought about too at the time was that it had no master or slave connector on it, jumper, and I thought maybe it was defaulting to cable select. Bit weird, never seen it, but I thought that at the time. However, a bit of research, I found out that it actually is a proprietary cable that is needed to make it work. So I swapped out to try and get the most period correct that I can, in the parts that I have, and this is an 8x CD-ROM, and I've connected it just a master slave setup, just using the hard drive obviously as the master, and it tends to work okay. So I would have liked to get the creative drive going, and maybe I will in future if I can find another sound card that has that port on it. But at the moment, this will have to do. The machine itself runs very well. The thing I find holding it back at the moment is the video card. Even though it is an ET4000 video card, it is also an ISA card. So obviously it's limited by the bus speed of 8 megahertz. So that does hold it back in games like Warcraft 2 and that sort of thing. But in saying that, Warcraft 2 does recommend a PCI or VLB video card. So it wasn't to be unexpected. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a good build, and hopefully you hang around and subscribe and like the video, and I can build better videos. Just be aware that this is my first video, so give me a break when it comes to editing and that sort of thing. I have missed out a little bit of editing, therefore I thought I'd do this at the end just to clarify a few things and that sort of thing. And yeah, I'll mention the next video.